4 levels down, 2 left. 2/3 of the way into the game. This 5th level can be pretty challenging at first, but after some practice it's really not too bad. But there's a hallway right before the boss that seems to give lots of players a lot of trouble. This is the first level in the game where you take 4 health off per hit, so you only get hit 4 times. Not too much room for error. And this continues, I believe, for the rest of the game, and after you beat the game, there's a harder mode, starting from level 1 all over again with more enemies, and I think the 4-hit rule applies there as well. Oh, an invincibility potion. And it's utterly useless. Could have used that earlier. If you walk here or stand here, I'm not sure which, you get a 1-up icon. And I don't know if there's any other ones in the game, it's the only one that I found. Maybe in the second playthrough there's more. Very welcome meat. Exactly what we need right now. If you use a firebomb on these guys, they often die in one hit as long as it stays in contact with them long enough. So I found it's one of the most effective weapons against them. The boomerang is pretty good also. But this one seems to be easier to deal with. No, we want to keep the firebomb and the triple for the rest of the level if we can. It might be useful to get the higher up candles that you can't get normally to use the axe, but I believe those candles just have small hearts in them anyway, so they're not really necessary. Anything over here? No. And use the same tactic. Throw a firebomb, walk away from the enemy, and he'll walk right into it, trying to chase you. This wall is only 100 money bag. I thought it was a meat or something. Oops, that was dumb. And a close one. I almost hit the red skeleton, just about. Walk over here, fall onto this platform, and you get a nice money bag. And just climb back up the stairs, and deal with this knight in the same fashion as before. Use a firebomb. Ooh, bad timing. Well, lucky for us, there's a meat up here, so no big deal. We can avoid taking any other hits, we'll have you back to full health. that was close. I don't want that. Here's our meat. Back to full health, and now we move up into the final screen. This is the hallway I was talking about earlier. I think it's something called the Hallway of Pain, which is a pretty good name for it. Oh. If you have the firebomb, you can just beat. There's only 2 axe knights here. The main thing you have to watch out for is the Medusas. While you're trying to hit the firebomb knights, the knights with the firebomb at the same time. The boomerang is a pretty good weapon also to have if you don't have the firebomb. Hit the knights with it 5 or 6 times, and they should go down. You can also hit the Medusas in the process. But since we have firebomb, the Grim Reaper is a tough boss, but if you firebomb him, he'll freeze much like Frankenstein and Igor did, and you can beat him quickly. Otherwise, use the boomerangs on him and whip the sickles. He's one of the harder bosses in the game if you don't have a cheap tactic like that. Next up is level 6, the final level, the Clock Tower.